We're gonna let Howard speak first, so he.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah, I'm adding introduction of Rob Houchins to the agenda. Good evening, everyone. I'm Doug Farnsley. I'm the mayor of Prospect. Welcome to City Hall. And this is the City Council regular meeting. Today is Tuesday, February 17, 2026. The time is 7 p.m. We've got a guest that I want to introduce and allow him to say a few words. Rob Houchins is a resident of Oldham County, and he's running for the office of County Judge Executive in Oldham County. And Rob's been to one of our previous meetings, but didn't speak, and he stopped by to see me about a week or so ago. We had a nice visit. So Rob, if you want to say a few words, I'll tell you, if you'll step over to the lectern, and then we usually limit comments to about 3 minutes, so.
That would be great. And if I get too long, by all means, cut me off. I have no problem with that.
We'll do that.
That happens. Anyway, yeah. So as you've heard, my name is Rob Houchins. I'm Republican running for Judge Executive in Oldham County. For me, I don't know if any of you heard over on this side of the county, but we had a data center that they tried to put behind my house. I got a little bit involved in some of that. What I really came to understand is that how important some of the magistrates and the judge executive are in certain matters that are big for our county. I do know that, for example, I've had discussions with the head of economic development, Secretary Jeff Knoll. And in that, we've talked about some of the development that could be coming our way. And part of that is the Kentucky State Reformatory property. So that is something that's on the table for the future as they tear down the prison in the front. So whoever comes into that office will have a big important role to work with the state and try to figure all of that out. I'm a businessman. I have been a CPA for many, many years. Now, I don't have my license still, and I'm not doing your taxes. I'm not that kind of a CPA, okay? But I was a turnaround specialist. So I was about improving our companies' services and their products, and then cutting their costs and making it more profitable. So in county government, I plan on already bringing in a world-class expert to do training, and we're going to train on how to be world-class in customer service, which is what county government should be doing in serving their people. So we're going to do that. I know how to look at costs and balance sheets and income statements and those kind of things. So anyway, I'm excited about the role. I'm actually having fun. I went out for 4 hours a day and knocked on doors on this side of the county and was asked talking to people. And I really get energized by some of that. So I appreciate the time and look forward to hearing what's going on and more on this side of the county as well. So thank you for the time.
Rob, thank you for coming, and good luck to you in your
Thank you.
campaign.
John
Trying to remember the name of the incumbent, David somebody.
Bogle.
Bogle
David, is he running again?
is not running again,
He's not.
but he did change his affiliation from Republican to Independent on December 31st. Which gives him the option to make some choices here coming up in April. So he could run as an independent for pretty much any office in the county. There's speculation as to what that might include. I believe I know what it might be, but I'd rather not do that in a public forum, to be honest with you. I'll let him, if you want to ask, I suggest you call him. All right, thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for coming.
Rob, appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The next, and you're welcome to stay. You're welcome to escape, whatever you want to do. So the next item on the agenda is approval of minutes, and we've got minutes of 3 meetings to consider. First are the minutes of the January 14, 2026 special council meeting. Those have been distributed. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
So Mr. Holmes moved and Mr. Clark seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, those minutes are approved. The next set of minutes is 2 days later, January 16, 2026 special council meeting. And those minutes have been circulated. Are there any additions or corrections? If not, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Okay, Ms. Leonard made the motion.
Second.
Judge Evans, Mayor Evans, excuse me, seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those minutes, and then any opposition? Those minutes are also approved. And finally, the minutes of the last regular meeting of the council, which was January the 20th, 2026. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes?
I attended via WebEx, if that needs to be noted.
Okay, we'll make that correction. Mr. Clark attended WebEx. So thank you for that. Any other comments? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
Mr. Holmes made the motion. Mr. Clark seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, those minutes are also approved. Thank you, everyone, for that. The next item on the agenda are citizens' comments. And I don't believe anyone signed up, but if anybody's got anything pressing they'd like to say, I'll recognize you. All right. The next item on the agenda is listed as the State of the City address and then the mayor's report. And actually, those are the same thing tonight. So this is my State of the City address. Tonight, I will discuss where we have been as a city, our present situation, and our future, focusing on public safety, our parks, community, the LDG lawsuit, and our finances. First, with regard to public safety, we have superb police officers who are well-educated and experienced and who exercise excellent judgment. Jeff Sherrard and Tony Denham built a strong department that we can all be proud of, and Tony and Michael continue to lead it with that same professionalism. Year-over-year crime data confirms that Prospect remains one of the safest communities in Kentucky. We also acted when our residents raised concerns about children driving golf carts unsafely. On January 21, the council unanimously adopted a golf cart safety ordinance that requires licensed drivers, modern safety equipment, police inspection, and prohibits carts on US 42 at River Road. Changes with respect to US 42 address another aspect of public safety. The efforts of our police and the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet to make travel on US 42 safer are working. In the past 14 months, our police have increased speeding enforcement, and effective July 1, 2025, the Transportation Cabinet lowered the speed limit in our business district. In 2028 and 2029, we will see roundabouts on 42 that will allow traffic to keep moving, reduce left turns, help slow traffic, and reduce pollution. Recently, KIPTA awarded a grant to Prospect so that we can study how to improve intersections on 42 other than the 3 intersections where the roundabouts will be located. Prospect's second major priority is our parks. In 2009, Prospect essentially had no parks. Thanks to the leadership of Todd Eberly, John Evans, Linda Wardell, and others, we now have walking and hiking trails in Harrods Creek Park and Woodlands Park, a canoe and kayak launch, a pedestrian bridge in Harrods Creek Park, Charlotte's Playground, the John Evans Pavilion, and Putney Pond, a premier birdwatching location. Under the leadership of Don Gibson, we will be building a boardwalk from City Hall to Putney Pond. We expect to hear in March about our grant application, and we are optimistic about that. The Boardwalk Committee has interviewed design firms, and the city will soon be selecting one to carry the project forward. Thanks to the generosity of Gene Frazier, we will be able to connect that boardwalk to the sidewalk on Timber Ridge Drive, improving connectivity. In addition to addressing public safety and our parks, I will now make brief comments about the LDG lawsuit and our finances, and I will close my remarks by talking about the strength of our community. As we have previously discussed, LDG, the developer of the large apartment complex proposed for Timber Ridge Drive, sued both Prospect and Louisville Metro for alleged violations of fair housing laws and sued Prospect for alleged wrongful interference with contract. The case is scheduled for a 2-week trial starting on March 24th, a little more than a month from now. In August 2025, Louisville settled the claims against it and agreed to pay $6 million to LDG and agreed to other non-monetary terms. The claims against Prospect remain pending. The city takes the case seriously and continues to vigorously defend it. With regard to finances, the city is in a strong financial position. In the past year, we have maintained at least $3.3 million in cash and investments at any given time. The city has realized budget surpluses for more than the past 10 years. Notwithstanding the substantial investment we are making in the public-private partnership, our cash balance at the present time remains essentially the same as it was 1 year ago. In closing, I want to talk about community in Prospect, and that is one of Prospect's great strengths. On November 28th, 2025, more than 50 of us gathered for breakfast at Hunting Creek Country Club to thank and celebrate our city's employees and volunteers. The breakfast underscored that Prospect is a city whose residents care about each other and who contribute to our quality of life. Other events that permit our residents to see their friends and make new friends include our summer concert series, Shakespeare in the Park, wildflower and nature walks, art exhibition openings, Arbor Fest, the Trail Bash, landfill and recycling facility tours, lectures in City Hall, and the library's book sale. Our parks, Charlotte's Playground, and John Evans Pavilion, the new boardwalk, and the developed head property also support and will continue to support our sense of belonging to this community. I look forward to working with the council, our employees, and our citizens as we continue to make Prospect a wonderful place to live and work. We have a strong team and a bright future. So that concludes my remarks. Next item on the agenda is financial reports. John.
I sent, I think, financial reports to you yesterday, and that's what I'm reviewing today. So cash on hand consisted mainly of investments last month of $4.1 million and change. Again, if you looked at the financial statement, you would have seen a negative balance in the checking, but I assure you nothing bounced. We're just really keeping everything in investment as much as possible. Our restricted funds, current balance on restricted funds, the capital fund has a balance of $365,000, and the project, the public-private partnership balance is $259,000 and change. So we're more than halfway through our fiscal year, and we've collected roughly 78% of all our income at this point, and have spent roughly 60% of the budgeted expenditures. We do anticipate introducing an amended budget here soon, and this is mainly because of salt and snow removal expenses. And other than that, I'll answer any questions.
Questions for John? John, appreciate that.
One quick question.
Yeah.
One of the things that we've seen over the last 4 years anyway is a change in what's coming in from the insurance tax. Has it stabilized or are we still seeing?
So based on what I looked at today, I think we're right on target. Yeah.
Right. We'll move on with the agenda. So next are commission and board reports. The Ethics Commission, John Embry.
I will make this very short.
Take all the time you need.
Anybody got some Shakespeare? I'll read that. The Ethics Commission financial disclosure forms are due March 2nd, which is the first business day of March. Right now, there are 6 outstanding. I've spoken with a couple of folks who are chairpersons to when I know who it is, but if you or somebody else, and I think all the councils pretty well taken care of, if you know of anybody who hasn't turned that in, please turn it in. I'd just as soon not have a meeting and have to bring the results to council. So that's where we are on that. And hopefully in March, I can tell you we're done.
Thanks, John.
Okay.
Appreciate your work. So next is the Forestation Board, Linda Knox.
We met last week and had a very productive meeting. We did have to address a hazardous situation in Sutherland, and Mike Thomas has already reached out to the individual owner, and they will take action to mediate the situation. So that was good news. We are also working on finding a new arborist. We have defined the duties, and we have a couple of candidates that were referred to us from not only the city of Anchorage, but also somebody that was referred to us by the Ramblers Garden Club, and they're a very active group. So I think both of these candidates will be getting a phone call that we can do an original screening, and then let the city officials deal with these people, and hopefully we'll find a good one. But the biggest news is our tree party this coming Saturday. So we're hearing from some of the League of Cities, Tree Cities. There's quite a few of those in the metro area. We think we're going to get a good turnout. We do have a couple of, I guess you would call them, tree celebrities coming, that we're going to have Tavia Cathart Brown from Crazy Mayhem coming. We're also going to have Cindy Sullivan from Trees Louisville. So I think both of them will be very nice to have on hand and interact with not only the other Tree Cities, but the residents from Prospect that join us. So we're going to do some setup, and we got a trial run tomorrow to make sure my computer works, and then we'll finish setting things up on Friday, and then Saturday morning, we hope to have a great turnout, and that's kind of what we've been up to. So if you've got any real questions, I hope most of you can join us for the event, because the talk on oak trees should be very interesting. I know Herb Schellhafer has heard it before, and oak trees are kind of interesting. There's I think, what was the number? It's on the poster, but there's like 90 versions of oak trees in just the US, and there's hundreds more internationally. Oak trees are everywhere. So I think we'll learn a lot and probably have a good event. So if you got any questions, just let me know. Yes,
You didn't say where this event occurred.
it's right here in City Hall,
In the council room.
in this very room. Mhm.
And I understand there may be donuts and coffee.
Yeah, if you come early. I think that'll get some
10
turnout, yeah.
10 a.m. to noon.
9:30 is when we're hoping to get the
Okay.
coffee, and then the meeting will start at 10.
Okay.
So
Well,
Hope you-
thank you. Thanks to
I'm
the,
sorry you're going to be out of
I
town.
know. But I appreciate that Forestation Board's planning this. It's a great idea. Great contribution to the city. Next up are Parks and Records. I'm sorry.
We don't have parks.
No parks
Unless-
report?
Yeah.
Carolyn, anything to report? Okay. Jefferson County League of Cities, Sandra.
A couple of things. First of all, the tree business has really gotten interesting. Don Gibson and I put the report together that put all the cities there and gave all the contact information. And I know people that can't come this Saturday who would like to come again. And so we're hoping maybe quarterly meetings or something like that. And there's a lot of enthusiasm just because she was so nice talking to one of the mayors. We now have a tree city that we didn't have, 2 months ago, and we've got another one on the way. So Linda Knox deserves a great deal of credit for everything that she's done. And I think part of it is because not only is she really nice, but she's knowledgeable, and she makes them feel comfortable with the fact they're not going to blow it if they do the paperwork. So anyway, I truly appreciate it. In regard to the meeting coming up on Thursday, the speaker is Councilman Kevin Kramer, and this year he is the National League of Cities president. So that's a big deal for Kentucky. It really is. And if any of you can come, the meeting is at 7 o'clock and it's at Linden City Hall, and he's the primary speaker. So that was this Thursday. That is also the annual meeting, and they will be voting for 5 directors. And then 2 people will be shifting, one shifting to treasurer and something else. Not a lot of differences in terms of this. Connie Wharton, who has been on the board for a very long period of time, and has resigned as mayor of Meadowvale. That's right. I sometimes these things have the same first words and I get them mixed up at the end. But anyway, she's resigned. There's a new mayor there, a young lady who probably will not be going on the board. So there'll be one new board member by the time this is all over. And then the other thing is, at the board meeting, not only do I want to brag about Linda, but I also am really impressed with all of the work that Prospect has been doing on recycling. And as you know, I'm the Jefferson County League of Cities representative on the Louisville Metro Solid Waste 109 Advisory Committee. It takes me forever to say that. And the tour, I've asked some other mayors to come on Thursday, and Mr. Hicks has agreed that that's not a problem. And so we're getting some other cities involved, and Prospect is really taking the lead on something like this. So you deserve a lot of credit. Even that I've been bragging about the newsletters that have been coming out with the information.
Good.
So thank you very much. One or two other things. One is there is a thing called Cafe Louie. And I know some of you have gone before. I know that Don Gibson has gone. March 7th at the Northeast Regional Library, which is the one for us. The representatives speaking are Tina Bojanowski, Jason Nemus, Paula McCraney, Marilyn Parker, Scott Reed, and Marcus Winkler. I have found these really helpful before because you don't usually get a lot of people who are elected officials at the same event. And when I listen to them talking to one another, sometimes I learn things that I've never heard anyplace else. So that's March 7th, and it's from 9 to 10 a.m. And they usually are very good at starting on time and very good at ending. The other one is, and you don't need to mark your calendars yet, but we had a great turnout last year at the Louisville Bats game. And they're asking for tentative amounts. It will be in June, and it looks like it would roughly be like Thursday, I think it's June 11th. And so there's a lot going on that's fun.
Thanks, Sandra. We
You're
appreciate it.
welcome.
Any questions for Sandra? I'll add there, and I think you alluded to this, and I did not mention it in my State of the City address, but there is a tour this Thursday, which I think is February 19th. And it's in Cincinnati, but you start here at City Hall. So if you have any interest in touring a landfill, really big landfill, and a recycling facility, I encourage you to attend. I've visited the recycling facility twice, and I've visited 2 landfills, and I've learned a great deal. I figured with all the money we spend on getting our trash picked up and our yard waste picked up and our recycling picked up, I should get a better understanding of whether it's really worth it. Would you hear about recycling? Is it really worth it? And if you go on this tour, I can almost guarantee you that you will come back understanding just how important recycling is. So we'll start here at 8:45. I won't, but a group will start here at 8:45 on Thursday morning and drive carpool to Cincinnati, first to the landfill. There'll be a bus tour there at the landfill, and then go to the recycling facility. These are both Rumpke facilities. The recycling facility, and where you will have lunch, and then the tour of the facility while it's working. And it is really a sight to behold and very educational. And then the group will return to Prospect. Expect to be back at City Hall about 4 o'clock. But it is very, very worthwhile. And if anyone's got any interest at all in that, let me know, and we'll get you on the list. And you can enjoy a day in Cincinnati and visiting with other folks from Prospect. So next item on the agenda is the police report.
Yes, sir.
Chief.
Thank you for the opening remarks about our guys. We really appreciate you recognizing those guys and gals and what they do. Mine and Michael consider ourselves great for that. So, and I'll give you a couple of really good examples of some of the good work they're doing. On the 23rd, Sergeant Cirillo was working late watch. And as everyone knows, he's very, very active. Checking garages. I mean, he writes multiple notices a month, puts them in people's mailboxes if their garages are open at night. If you have a garage open in Prospect at night, you will get something in your mailbox. I mean, if Jim's working, if any of them are working, he really, it's almost as if someone is attempting to break in his own home. The man is on a mission. He does a great job. That night, Jim was working himself that night. A couple of vehicles, they didn't get broken into. They were unlocked and rummaged through over on Wayanoke. The first two attempts, the vehicles were locked. Guess what? They didn't get into the vehicles. So they got into a couple over there. He thought he spotted the guy going back over just on the street right behind there. LMPD was able to come out, help him out. We ended up taking a couple reports, but nothing of value was taken. But someone did leave a remote in their car and they were able to access their garage. So we kind of keep talking about that. So that was a tremendous job by Jim that night. Our second one, and I'll have Michael cover something that we worked on from that. Back towards the beginning, or right around the beginning of the month, we had a Corvette taken from over in Harrods Landing. Now, this was a resident who was out of town, did not know if keys were in the vehicle or not, which answers my question. They are. If you don't know, they are. That was a very nice, I think it was 2018 Corvette. Michael, while detective, did a tremendous job of establishing a lot of open communication with different departments, different detectives within each of those agencies. So we have a great program of sharing. We were able to get that out within 24 hours, and I kind of let you tell him. I'll let him tell you what happened.
Well, basically, I saw the run come out that we had a stolen car. And I perused the internet and saw what kind of car it was. And I was like, well, that one should be pretty easy to find. So it was Sunday because it occurred on the Saturday night for Sunday. So I was like, well, I don't have anything to do. So I called Mike, whoever it was that, I think it was Mike that took the report, Barb Shepherd. And I said, hey, what's going on with the Corvette? So she gave me the information for it. And my main intention really was to just put it out to the rest of the officers for awareness, because like I said, that would be an easy one to find. And then I thought to myself, well, you know, I'm a member of this collaborative group of investigators that are targeting this type of thing specifically. I'll go ahead and put it out to them. And this is probably 10 or 11 o'clock. And needless to say, I spent the rest of the day dealing with detectives calling me all morning. And by an hour or two after I put that out to them, we had pictures of where the guys had the car on Instagram and they were standing on the hood of it, you know, and all that. But then, so I thought, well, since we've got this kind of information, I'm going to put it out to everybody at Louisville Metro. So I contacted RTCC, which is like their intelligence gathering center. And they put it out to all users. And within 30 minutes, people were calling me going, man, I can tell you which apartment complex that is from looking at the background. Our detective, Brian Peters, went out and checked that area. It was over in J-Town, but unfortunately the car was gone by then. Long story short, the whole thing led to the Louisville Metro helicopter doing a loose surveillance of a couple of guys. They end up chasing them and they recovered our car. They recovered a Camaro. They did search warrants, found a bunch of guns, dope, you name it. But yeah, it all transpired probably in about 24 hours.
Then about 24 hours, the guy was arrested.
Wow.
So the thing spiraled out of control and ruined my Sunday, but we got it covered.
It worked out well, but the gist of it is, like you said, we have officers that have very good judgment, very good skills, rapport, and that sharing of information is what did that. That's exactly what, within 24 hours, once we put our description out and everything, and they had theirs, it worked great. So that was just a good call there by Michael. Two other incidents that I want to talk about real quick. One was on Westover. We had a dementia patient. We received a phone call on the 8th that evening. Got over there, and the wife had the husband who has dementia. He's in his 70s. She came back upstairs and he was gone. The keys to the car were gone. He was gone. So she then attempts to get a hold of him. After she does get a hold of him, she calls us. He's somewhere on I-75 up by Cincinnati, up around that way. So we were able to get like I said, the officers do a tremendous job. They were able to get her to call him back and talk to him on the phone. So he was obviously very confused. We instructed him to get off the expressway and go to a well-lit area, gas station, shopping center or something. He just couldn't follow the directions. So we immediately did an exigent ping on his phone to see where he was. And his phone was going dead at the time, but we were able to get enough of a ping that at some point KSP was able to locate him, take him to the hospital, and then get a safe return for him. And she was able to go get him in the car. But the quick actions of being able to talk to him on the phone in a calm manner, and then at least talk to him long enough to get that ping set up, really made a big difference. And he's home now and he's safe. But I just want to commend the guys, because there's a lot of moving branches when that's going on, because it can get pretty dicey, because they usually aren't anywhere around here. They're gone. They're on the interstate and they're rolling most of the time. So we've had good luck with that. Officer Joe Manning at the beginning of the month had a run over in Sutherland's. Had around a 70-year-old female who's having a psychotic episode. Had left the house. She was staying with a caretaker. The son had just left to go back to New York. And she was going to have 24/7 care. She had a psychotic episode, left the house. The caretaker called us. She jumped fences. She's very spry, so she got away. Officer Main was able to locate her, calm her down. Remember that he's by himself, so he had to secure EMS, talk to the son, talk to the doctors. So at that point, either the family's going to take her to the hospital, which there are no family members to take her, or we take her, which is what we ended up doing, taking her that day. She was able to, after that episode, she was able to she stayed at the hospital for 72 hours. The son was able to get back in town. He really appreciated what Officer Manning did. And he was able to secure the Baker Act to get her committed to full-time care. So some very good work by our officers. Really stopped some things that could have been really a tough situation. So that is our report.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Michael. There is no further business to come before the council. So unless somebody's got something pressing to say, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Mr. Gibson made the motion. Is there a second?
Motion.
All in
Oh,
favor?
that's right. I'm sorry.
All in favor,